Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today I'm going to show you how to line a crochet bag. So this is my own interpretation. Now you may be a sewer or maybe have other techniques. It's completely up to you, but this is kind of like the beginner's version of doing a lined bag because somebody behind the camera, me, has never done it before. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you how I'm going to line my bag. And why would you line your bag? Let's talk about that real quick. So the obvious choice is that you want to line your bag so that things don't fall out. So when you look at it from this point of view, you can see your fingers pop out. And so for example, if this was a yarn tote and you got your hooks in there, do you want them to fall out? Yes or no? And it's a nice way to do it. But also lining your bag can provide strength to your bag. So if you overstuff a crochet bag, of course the stitches kind of blow up on you, right? So what you can do is that by lining your bag with fiber, so for example if I pull on it you can see that it will really quite stretch. But if you line it here with material, it's sturdy. So what's going to happen is that even though you might try to overstuff your bag, the material will prevent it from overstretching, therefore giving your bag a lot more resiliency as well. So without further ado, let's talk about the fabric next, and let's have some fun with that. So for myself, I went to the craft store and I picked out some colors that I thought was going to match. I took my project in and I took it to the shelf and I looked at it. And I also looked at trying to get thread that matched the top layers of the bag here. So I'm going to eventually have to sew this into this top section, so I got it as close as I could from the shelf. So what I want to do is that you can either do two ways. You can either get one piece of fabric that will fold over, so you only have to sew the bottom and the one side. But in my case, I don't do a lot of sewing and I don't have a sewing machine, so I'm doing everything by hand. And I found that I could get like these panels, just like you see here, that were just a one piece, and I can do that instead. I also thought I'd have some fun with just, I don't know what it says on these things, but that's kind of fun. And what we're going to do is that when you look inside the bag that you'll see this kind of pattern. I also looked at the back of it, so I kind of peeled it back a bit because this here is going to be showing through the holes. So I want to make sure that whatever's going to show through the holes isn't going to be to the point where it's going to be terrible. So without further ado, I want you to see how I'm going to do it, and then you can do anything that you wish at this point. So let's go through our first steps first. So let's do our first step first. I want to be very conscientious of the line that is appearing on this side, so whatever I'm going to cut, that's going to obviously have to come out. So this is the good side facing up, so the awful side is on the other side, so the wrong side. And so that side is going to be resting against the inside of the bag, so when you look inside the bag you'll see this. Therefore the next one that you have, that I recommend that also you got that line, kind of match it with the same side and place it right directly over top of the other. Again, you can have a one piece fabric that can fold over on the one side and it'll be good to go. So just lay it flat like so, and now let's grab our project and throw it on top. So what I want to do is that I want to kind of line it up so that the bottom matches here, and I want to line it up so that the one side matches, because why do I have to cut more than I need to? And what I want to do is get really quite close to the one side here, and I want to trace a line over here. So using it could be a pencil, crayon, a piece of chalk, and what I want to do is that I want just to trace a line, and it's about roughly to this point here. So I want to start that, and I want to just trace going down the one side. And what I want to do then is that I want to trace a line going across the top section. So pretty well close to where it is. So I'm just going to lean in here so I can see it, and I'm just going to trace. And if I have to self-correct later, I can. So when I lean it back, it should be good to go. So now that I've got my lines traced in, I want to cut out this piece of fabric on both of them at the same time. So I'm just going to keep them together and just grab my scissors, and I'm just going to trim off the extra at this point. So now I want to lay down my bag once again, and I want to put my cut sample that still has both of them together over top of it, and I can see that it's going to fit just fine. So what we're gonna have to do now is that we have to sew along the one side, the base, and then back up the other side, and we're gonna leave the top side open because we'll have to deal with that later. So what we need to do is that we need to provide a seam line, so we have to fold up the one side, and you can use safety pins if you would like to be able to do it, and you could pin it and you just have to roll the edge, and we're just going to roll the edge and just secure it into position and then just use that to sew into position. So let's roll our edges first and then be right back. Now for me, I'm used to a big tapestry needle when it comes to yarn, but you're gonna have to switch back to a regular thread needle to do this kind of process. So I'm just feeding it through the eye of the needle using the same color that matches the bag. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna come to the other side of the thread and I'm going to form a slip knot, and this slip knot will be so that it will just lock into place as I go. Now you may know better ways to doing things like this. I'm kind of novice when it comes to sewing, so I have a slip knot here. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm just going to trace the outside that you have with the sewing, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come in through the back, through to the front. I've stabbed myself a gazillion times already, and I'm gonna come through the back to the front. And before I pull it all the way through, I'm gonna go to the back again, and I'm going to put that slip knot that I made through the needle so that it will lock into position as I do it. So as I pull it through. Now it did fall off the needle right there. That's how good I am. So now that I've got that, it's completely locked into position. So I'm just gonna refeed this. So all I'm just gonna do is in and out all the way, and I'm gonna do all sides, all three sides, leaving the top side open, and we'll sew that into position when we're ready. So I'll see you back here in a little bit. So now that my three edges are sewn, I have the open top, and when I pull it back you should see the good side of this project, so or the good side of the fabric. So what we want to do is that we want to open up our bag and insert that into the bag. And you can put your hand inside the fabric as well to get it to make sure it goes all the way down as far as you need it to go. So I'm just gonna push it inside. And what I want to do is that I want to get below the seam line of this top layer here. And everything feels good. So what I want to do now is that I want to roll back the top layers like this, and I want to start pinning it. So when I go to pin, I want to stay towards the inside of the project like so. So I'm just gonna roll back and just pin, and I'm going to sew this into position. So I'm just gonna do this all the way around, and then I'll be right back. So I've now pinned the liner so it's folded, so that when I go to sew this down there's no exposed seam here, and I can insert my hands in. I'm good to go, and all I'm just going to do now is just start on one side and just go in and out. Now because I chose the same color as the, well, it's all pretty close to this, I can go in and if it does fall on the other side of this, I'm not too worried about it. But what I want to do is when I go in and out, I want to stay within the fibers without going too deep. If I can prevent going to the other side, I can. So remember that this liner is just kind of being held into position with this, so it should work out and it should be good to go. So I'm going to now sew, and I'll be right back. So I've just inserted my threaded needle just for the first time, so I want to prevent that needle from going all the way through if I can. Just when you go to stick it in, just grab some fibers. Just don't go all the way through your work. Okay, just enough just to hold it in a position. So it might just be easier just to just glide it just through, so, and just enough that it catches onto it, and yeah, that's better. So what we're going to do then is that I'm going to insert it through that slip knot that I had made. I did it just like I did before. So here's my slip knot, just insert it through there. That'll help lock it into position, and all I'm just gonna do then is just trace this around. I left an extra long tail so that I can sew that in later. So now I'm just gonna go in and out and just trace around the outside of the bag. Now if I pull this back like this and it's not bringing the project with me, I know that I'm not deep enough. So what I want you to do is just sew all the way around, and then I'll be right back. So here we are, my bag is now lined. I'm really quite proud of myself. I've never done this before. So now when I stick my hands in, I can only go as big as the fabric inside, so I can no longer stretch my my crochet project, which is awesome because sometimes we have a tendency to do that. So it goes right down to the base, and you know, I peel it back, I can just see the nice layers here on the inside, and it's good to go. So now my project is ready and I'm going to enjoy, and this is how you line a crochet bag, just like you see.